Welcome back, everyone, to Fall Series Korea. Match number 2 of the night will be. You can actually. You're gonna have a great time here.
So, preview. This is a golf company versus a poker. Poker team.
Yes.
Now, just to give a little bit of context, JNGK is actually a golf franchise in Korea. They have amazing Overwatch team, and Poker Face namesake. You know, they have this Poker Face mascot.
They do sound cooler.
Yeah. So it is a golf team versus a poker team. But no, jokes aside, JNGK, it's really meaningful for JNGK here because JNGK has been around the contender scene for a while, and this is their first ever Contenders Korea playoffs.
And talking about JNGK, as this is a matchup that we told you guys a while ago, as there are some really highlight players in both teams. Both teams really, especially the Genji plays, are amazing on both sides.
Amazing.
Depending on the team comp, let's see who comes on top. I think we're going to be highlighting a lot of that nano blade or just the blade, because these players don't even need the nano to make like 4 or 5 kills on his own.
Yeah, like you said, G-Clev, both Genji players on both teams. Actually, Poker Face has 2 great Genji players, Valentine and Finale. But I think, like you said, the Genji is going to be very pivotal to whatever win conditions these teams may have. New kid on the block, JNGK, first appearance on Overwatch Contenders Korea playoffs. Yes, they've been in playoffs in Contenders Australia. However, on the Korean region, it is their very first Contenders Korea playoff appearance. So it's really up to them if they can make an upset. If they do manage to win Poker Face today, that's going to be a huge upset because G-Clef, Poker Face has a lot of high-value names here.
Yes, but before going into Poker Face, take a look at the roster first for JNGK, and especially a Spint's performance throughout the entire Fall Series has been, I think, one of the biggest names in the Fall Series Korea. That is Genji is absolutely amazing. Pulls off some amazing plays when he's alone, surviving with low HP. So been on, especially not just on my eyes, been on a lot of other teams' players' eyes on that Spint, and also this entire roster has been doing some magic, but this might be their limit. It could be really tough because Poker Face does seem like a slight more favorite of this matchup today.
Yeah, so a lot of good points that you mentioned, G-Club. Like, I just want to start with Spint here. Spint has been the premier Genji on the side of Contenders Korea Fall Series. Yes, we've been seeing a lot of good names, like even Becky. Like, we've been seeing a lot of, ex-Overwatch League talent, also players that are at Overwatch League level but cannot go to Overwatch League because of their age limit. But Spint does definitely stand out, especially in the season, and it's a big part of why JNGK is in the playoffs in the first place. But you'll see Poker Face here, proud, a very good Sojourn player who has been impressing a lot, especially this season here. Valentine, formerly of the Boston Uprising. We've seen a lot of good Genji plays on this from this player as well. Peppy, a off-tank player, so we might be expecting a little bit more of that Genji Zarya, especially with Valentine here. Lego, Simple, both players have multiple seasons of experience on the contender stage, so on paper it looks like Poker Face does have the experience, does have the expertise here. However, it remains to be seen because JNGK has defied a lot of expectations here. And that's how they got here in the first place, but we'll see. First map is going to be Lijiang Tower. Poker Face, as the higher seed, will be making that pick.
Higher seed, of course, and also, as you have mentioned, the experience on that roster, especially for Poker Face, does seem like a clear favorite. But they're here for the playoff, and you never know, because we've just had some wild maps happening in our first match between Pantera. So we'll see as JNGK. They can certainly have, of course, a Poker Face pick from having the higher seed. That's going to be the advantage coming into this matchup. And Lijiang Tower, a perfect map. Maybe not all the time, but a pretty good map to maybe get a little hint of who wins, who has a better moments with that Genji and the team comp, of course.
Yeah, so definitely I think we'll be seeing, even looking at the rosters here, we'll be seeing a lot of Genji and Lijiang Tower here. Lijiang Tower is also very interesting in that like there's no like really bad comps for Lijiang Tower. Depending on which round, which sub map it is, it's a little bit. It looks like it's going to be Night Market for the first round here. All the compositions are at least playable. As you can see, I thought Poker Face would be going with the Orisa here, but no, both teams are going with the Sigma, which is pretty surprising to me, to be honest.
Early on, spin on Echo plus Sojourn from Archie.
Hey, pretty much similar compositions on the tank front, but a vastly different concept on both teams because Spint is on the Echo instead of the Genji. Poker Face is a little bit more mobile because they have the Lucio and the Symmetra TP to move around.
Oh, Poker Face.
So Poker Face's plan is to outmaneuver JNGK, which they're doing so right now. And also, without the Echo making a lot of crucial kills here, they also lack a lot of the firepower to win this game.
Yeah, really well done by Poker Face. I think they basically cornered the entire team of JNGK, so they can't really have a good position to do any source of damage. Of course, Spin could have done a lot more, but without the teammates on the other side, cornered into a wall. It was going to be tough. Now, first win for Poker Face.
So, good change from RK here to the Hanzo, because it offers a little bit of a one-shot headshot kill potential, which means that a pick here leads to, even though if Poker Face has the maneuverability, like being at a numbers advantage will be able to negate that. However,
the output is just way too big of a difference with the Matrix up early from Simple.
Yeah, that was a high value amp Matrix if I've ever seen one here. And if you look at Poker Face here, also all their ultimates are slowly coming online. Both DPS ultimates online, and also the Gravitic Flux coming up soon. So yes, JNGK will be having their ultimates as well, but it looks like Poker Face has the countermeasures in order to win this fight, or at least stall, because it's already at 52% G-Club. So even if they concede this fight, I think they should be enough to get at least 80% out of this.
Double Sigma plus the Flux on point.
Good sound barrier to counter that Gravitic Flux. Oh wait, Spin does survive enough for that second.
But Valentine?
Second Gravitic Flux, but was not able to make any progress.
If everyone's on point, well, that artillery certainly can do a lot of work.
That was an expensive fight for Poker Face, in the end having to use almost all the ultimates. Well, actually all the ultimates that they had in store, but that was the same for JNGK as well. So, Spin!
Valentine!
The turret! The turret killed Spin! What happened?
I think it was right after the Swift Strike. I have to imagine having no other mobility. Now, 99%.
So this is overtime. Last fight.
Oh man, pressure's gone. Poker Face got this.
I agree as well. There's nobody to touch, and that will be Night Market on the side of Poker Face. Poker Face is, I think the win conditions and composition of Poker Face was superior to JNGK. Yes, JNGK drafted an okay composition. Like, if you're going with the Sigma, Poke is going to be definitely a thing, but...
Let's take a look at the replay. As Valentine and replay that we really want to see is that... Okay, we're not going to get to see that. Spint Genji getting destroyed or melted.
Exactly, by the turret, no less. And I think Poker Face doesn't have any reason to change compositions here because it's working. JNGK does put in a little bit of a curveball. If Spin... Okay, no. Actually, I thought Spin would have gone straight with the Symmetra, but it's going with the same composition, except that RK is matching the Bastion with Proud's Bastion. So still, so it's pretty much similar to Night Market here. Poker Face has the maneuverability, and RK falls. What a good boot from Lego. So that's more firepower on the side of Poker Face, and also the first cap is going on Poker Face's favor.
Pressure off, also very low. Just managed to keep themselves alive. But they'll be first off the point, not even crossing the bridge. Poker Face, well done, limiting the DPS.
And I think Poker Face composition shines more when they already have control of the point, remember? Because they can flank, they can disengage, or they can engage at will. So they have the options, they have the choices, Yes, Poker Face is in a lot of pressure, but off is the first one
even
to
with
fall.
the Matrix. On point, Poker Face getting a whole lot of pokes down. Okay, spin early. Duplicate onto Sigma, but will that be enough?
Will, yes, getting decent charge, but I don't think we'll be able to live long enough for that Griffin Flux. Pressure is down as well, and this is yet another team fight win for the Poker Face. Poker Face is getting immense value out of this Symmetra pick here, because not only it's the damage output from the Symmetra, the TP, that JNGK turn with that RK transfiguration was really decent, but they just TP'd out of the angles, so there wasn't an angle for RK to just make any kills, and after that, it was just Poker Face's turn.
So many countermeasures were happening from Poker Face, disengaging as you were mentioning right at the point where JNGK was using a lot of bolts, just going outside, and then exactly when they felt like they were needing some extra power source, Lego hitting that sound barrier at the perfect timing, and a few other ultimates coming online now.
RK starting with
and the flux from pressure.
Ooh,
so still no kills.
So that combo. That was a good immortality field on the side of Simple. So they survived a very important turn. Lego, another boop on off.
Another boop.
He's on Lijiang mode right now on Lijiang Tower. And I think this is already the third boop kill or second boop kill that I've seen. And that's going to be it.
Hell no, it's already a 2-0? Wow.
It's a 1-0 on maps, but it's a 2-0 win on Lijiang Tower.
On Lijiang.
That was pretty quick. Yes,
it was very, very quick. And wow, JNGK never looked this weak.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a subjective thing because Poker Face looks so strong right now, but I think it's also somewhat of a compositional mismatch. That Symmetra pick is doing God's work here. Yes, Lego with the nice boom kills and also like Peppy, very nice Sigma play, but Valentine with that Symmetra is not only doing damage, but like disengaging at the right time, engaging at the right time, is being the utility that Poker Face needs to outsmart JNGK. Because JNGK, yes, they may be mechanically gifted, but they lack the experience. They lack they lack the decision making on these important moments, and especially a high stakes match like this.
High stake matches, and they didn't even have that much play time in that control, and that might hurt to bite them even more with less experience. But we'll take a short break. When they have that 3-minute break, will that be enough of a time for them to come back? We'll have that answer real soon. Man, everyone, welcome back to Fall Series Korea. It's playoff and second match of the day. But right now, oh man, we saw that wrecking ball, but Poker Face wrecking the other team.
Yeah, even without the wrecking ball.
And JNGK, as mentioned again, they never looked this weak against any team so far, of course. And Poker Face, their mechanics, teamwork, team competition, there's stellar play so far from the control. Of course, things can flip in coming into future maps, but JNGK, sometimes if you don't really have that much play time even to warm up your hands, there's not much of a feedback you can actually give to your teammate.
I think, to be honest, like on the side of JNGK, it's more about like, you know, avoiding mental booms than making strategic, I guess, changes here. Because, like you said, G-Clef, Lijiang Tower was really, really short. I don't think even JNGK kind of like warmed up from that map. And so I think if you're the coaches for JNGK, it's more like, hey, you know, this is just start this map as if it's 0-0. That map didn't happen. We start new. We start fresh. We pick King's Row. So I think that's the way to go, because if you kind of look at it in a tactical perspective, like Poker Face looked like they're the superior team in all kind of aspects, like you said, G-Club. So I think they should be more of going on a spirit. I don't want to say spiritual, but more on a morale point of view, because JNGK, like I said, is a mechanically gifted team, but also very inexperienced. So they have to use the power of friendship to overcome the experience and prowess of Poker Face here.
And also the map choice should help JNGK a lot more. King's Row just calls me that, okay, let's just go with the Genji, and let's just go with Genji to see if mine's better or yours is better. It's the second King's Row of the day, actually. Did you get to see a moment of Spin's Genji in the very first?
Yes,
literally a moment. A moment
by the sim turret. So, like, to be like, technically, we didn't even get to see the Genji because he was off screen.
Winston.
Oh, Ooh. I mean, it does make sense because remember, I always talk about the possible high ground possibilities for point A on King's Row, and if you want to play Zarya on attack, that's not like necessarily the best option that you have in terms of attack. But Pressure, he makes me look bad. He makes me look like I have really bad insight on the game. But anyways, yes, I think it like if you want to give, I think this kind of like is the intent of JNGK trying to give more resources to Spint.
Spint making sure to get those turrets first. Okay, here we go. That's Pressure with that Zarya. You have the extra source of bubble.
Peppy low, but not so concerning, especially that Spint is down.
Good rotation from
Pressure
PokerFace.
did not have enough bubbles, so this is going to be a total reset for the side of JNGK here.
Early field used by Simple just in case, but that's a long cooldown, but still not too bad as JNGK.
I mean, considering the time that JNGK has to use to regroup, I think it'll be back online unless like there's a really early aggression on the side of JNGK.
Yeah, so Peppy holding the ground. JNGK looking for that perfect. Okay, with the teleport going all the way back. Just want to feel the pressure, leaving the point though.
So, really impressive maneuvers from PokerFace here. Not only they're using Valentine's TPs to move around, but they're not.
Got Lego.
They're not attacking this bubble Genji here.
Was it right?
Yes, Lego is down. So that's kind of like a.
Still winning the contest with the Matrix up early. 1.5 tick.
RK is down, so now this is PokerFace's chance to go back. Yes, they conceded 2 ticks, but they don't want to give the point. They don't have to give up the point because they have enough damage. Oh, and that's
Nano under pressure.
Nano Zero at 100 energy. That's a DPS threat.
Almost goes down though. PokerFace keeping the members up with the Immortality Field, and they're going to keep this a hold right before that final tick. PokerFace.
Wow. I think Pressure did wanted to take at least 2 members with that Graviton Surge, but in the end, it is just a Graviton Surge wasted because it denied leading to any kills, and they probably would have wanted to use that with that Dragon Blade Spin has, especially because Tamper does not have that Nano.
Then here's the Blade. The barrier and the Flux to countermeasure. And the Blade was not so powerful after all.
Well, I mean, I don't want to blame Spin for this because they didn't have enough tools to make this happen, to make this work. They didn't have the Nano, they didn't have the Graviton Surge in order to make this happen. So, and I think Spin kind of decided that if we wait until we have the Nano or the Graviton Surge, it's going to be too late because if you look at the time bank, G-Clef, it's only 1 minute left.
Yeah, here's a minute. And still having few ultimates. So up to RK. Oh, Spins. Peppy.
Well, he can't deflect the rock. And that's yet another delay on JNGK's deep offense here. Off is using the rally to survive and is able to survive just a little bit, but Pressure is down.
Okay, this could be a chance.
But JNGK, I think JNGK has to commit.
30 seconds.
Okay,
can you actually get to the point?
Is a start. They used the Nano Brig in hopes of getting someone
Nano
else.
Brig now? You still have 20 seconds though. Okay, Spin. Or the overclock from Haruka has to be making the kills. There it is, overclock. PokerFace with the Matrix up.
Good window from Simple.
No following up kills for either side. PokerFace backing off.
Overtime is going to collect, but Pressure is down. That means there's going to be nobody to save from the Flux
here. Oh man, JNGK. No more time, and now this might just be it. A full hold. PokerFace
That is the celebratory
Lego sound barrier.
Oh, that was brutal, to be honest.
That nano, to me, said a lot about what's going on between the team.
Yeah, I mean, the nano on the break was kind of like a desperation, I guess a panic.
But still had about 20 seconds when Arca's overclocked. So I thought it was telling a lot about some maybe desperate final second miscommunication within the team. Just up against a very strong team and nothing is working at the moment. So,
okay.
Yeah, at least you're not roping, so it's all good.
Hey, also, like, I think one of the crucial moments was where Pressure was using the Graviton Surge on the hotel was a very key moment because Poker Face would have probably had a very hard time if JNGK still had that Graviton Surge, especially combined with that Dragon Blade spin had. So, yeah, I guess both credit to Poker Face and also it shows how inexperienced JNGK is. Like, yes, I don't want to discredit JNGK. They are mechanically a very gifted team, but I think the inexperience on this roster is kind of taking a toll on them right now.
Oh, yes, and now switching sides. Peppy Sigma has been absolutely great on the front line. I mean, keeping everything together. Now, Proud, if you make that early headshot,
that may be curtains. But RK is thinking the same thing.
Oh, switching over to Bastion. Going back with the Symmetric comp, teleporting to the stairs.
I don't think JNGK has an answer to this TP comp. Like, for the past map and around, they didn't have the answers.
Okay, quick rotation from Poker Face. Is JNGK ready for this?
Maybe. Like, positionally, they should be.
On position.
But the thing about Valentine and the Symmetra comp is that they're willing to TP around and make outnumber any stranded members of JNGK. But at the current moment, Proud is down, so that's a lot of DPS gone for Poker Face. And with Valentine dying as well, it looks like they have to reset.
And here's Spint doing some amazing work. As Poker Face, they still need... Okay, hold on to it. Pressure down.
Wait a minute.
Okay, the backline's gone, and...
Wait,
okay, they're taking the point now.
Like,
JNGK.
The stagger kill onto Spint may mean that it's over.
Oh, Hanzo's here, but Hanzo cannot jump down. There's no way alone.
And there's that window.
It's going to be the final tick. Oh my god, Lego!
Lego! Oh my goodness!
That's game! Poker Face takes map number 2, just like that.
Wow, I think mods.
Oh god.
Rate this show rated R. This is violence right now. No, I'm dead serious right now. Really, this is not appropriate for children. No, really, like, man, what a steamroll from Poker Face. I think, like, tactically, Poker Face is doing really well because they're outmaneuvering JNGK with Valentine's TPs, and they are, like, there's a small window where Poker Face is outnumbering JNGK because they are outmaneuvering, because JNGK kind of like is covering a lot of ground. So there are some moments, split moments, very small windows where JNGK has less numbers to defend a single point, where Poker Face, everyone takes that TP and outnumbers and overwhelms that weak point and just goes from there.
It's really hard once you lose that high ground control on the first point. You do need to regroup really quickly, and so you do need to have that training early on. With a 2-0 map score now, it does look like Poker Face is going to be streamrolling in this matchup. Can JNGK do something amazing? Because we're going to have that map 3 real soon, guys. We will be right back. Let's see if that's enough time for JNGK to regroup their mental thoughts and come back in the series. Welcome back, everyone, to Fall Series Korea, match number 2. And right now, JNGK is being slaughtered by a team. Wow. And Poker Face, it doesn't really seem like they need to change it up too much.
Yeah.
They can just continue with the same team comp, as Symmetra has been working perfecely today.
Yeah, JNGK is not finding an answer to that Valentine Symmetra here. Like, yes, credit to Valentine for playing very nicely on that Symmetra pick, but as a team, I think it's more of the outmaneuvers and a very short window of time where they overwhelm and outnumber the members of JNGK and make those first picks happen. And after that, it's an easy fight for them as they outnumber the opponents. And we're in a crime scene right now because Poker Face is just literally murdering JNGK right now. Whew. And hopefully, on the side of JNGK, they want to bounce back against Flashpoint. And let me be the spoiler here. It's going to be Suravasa.
Suravasa, okay. Then perfect for Poker Face, I guess. They already had the Lucio. They already had the teleport. In terms of mobility, they have everything in their hands already from map number 1 and 2.
Exactly. I think, like, I mean, it's a tough choice either way, right? Even though if it's New Junk City, like Flashpoint just being Flashpoint means that mobility is definitely something that you need on whatever team composition you want to play. And then with the Lucio, like you said, like Lego's being very phenomenal on the Lucio as well. He's being on Legic on mode here ever since Lijiang Tower, and having that Symmetra to have extra maneuverability and mobility here. Well, I don't think they'll change comps until it doesn't work, to be honest. And JNGK, they need to find an answer to this.
It's also as a support player, it's a fun moment for support when you have less healing to do. You have that much extra room to actually go in attack mode. And hey, that's why Lucio can also...
Remember the game that you cast, the Blizzard game that you casted before,
no,
and about that support,
no,
where you just take care of the potential DPS output. Heroes of the...
oh, yes. Of course. Yeah, and also support can do some amazing work. Double support works fantastically in a lot of different games, too. Yeah, Suravasa here, JNGK, it's their pick, so... There has to be a reason. First of all, I think the team comp has to line up slightly better. I think, but can they really find the team comp to break Poker Face, because they've already shown their mechanics and the teamwork, the grouping that they're showing around the Symmetra Sigma comp. It's actually amazing how well they're grouping together. So they're all grouped up. What's one of the best team comp that you can bring out?
Like, at this point, I would want to say Zarya Genji, but because Spin has been the carry for JNGK, but we've seen that Spin is being very, very quiet today. So maybe if they can, maybe a Rhine Rush would also be okay. But it's definitely going to be a very difficult question to answer, because it's not like a singular problem where if you just like fix one pick or one player, sub one player out, like it's gonna be magically just fixed for you. But it's more of about like a team thing. So it looks like they're not changing a lot from their current compositions on either side.
Yeah, and rotationally Poker Face. Okay, choosing the safe path for JNGK especially. And giving Poker Face better zoning here, Spint.
It's gonna be the same thing over again, because Poker Face will be having that. Will be the one having the choice, because they can disengage, they can engage, they can do anything that they want. And JNGK has to be the passive one here, and with the immortality field down, JNGK has to be even more careful. And yes, this fight's pretty even at the current moment, but Proud is being healed back up.
Oh, RK already almost having that ultimate. Oh, the DPS output.
Yes, he does end up having that ultimate, but falls in the process. Yes, Valentine and Proud also down, so it is finally a moment for JNGK to shine.
Yeah, with early Matrix used for both sides.
But remember, look at the percentage here. Poker Face already at 51%. Yes, so Peppy falls and Lego probably will fall too. Oh, wait a second.
There's no window. Yeah, there's no window that you can escape from the top. If there was one, yes, you can make the escape, but I think that just gave more time for JNGK now.
Yeah, so I think even with that loss, I think Poker Face should be pretty okay. But JNGK, they have the ultimates. They have both DPS ultimates and they have the Flux. So it's very important that they use the Flux before Peppy gets his. So it's kind of a small window of opportunity, and even with that, Lego has that sound barrier to counter. So it's not going to be an easy fight for JNGK.
So here comes the Flux with the artillery and the barrier.
Oh,
so everything used from Poker Face. They want to grab this point.
But there's no answering ultimates for Spit's Dragon Blade. But currently, it doesn't matter because Proud is taking care of his spin. So JNGK had the right idea. They used the Flux first so that they baited out Lego's sound barrier. And also, Peppy used his Flux as well. So it was the perfect opportunity for Spin to pop his Dragon Blade and take, I guess, claim a lot of kills. But it didn't happen, and Proud took out Spin. So it was both an expensive fight for JNGK and also a loss. So it's going to be very difficult for them to retake the point, especially because it's 85% in favor of Poker Face here.
Yeah, look, but still, you do have that 96. Okay, both supports are ready to go. Early Matrix. Even Rally, Genji down.
Taken out again, but Peppy falls. As long as pressure is alive, they should be able to retake this point. And by retaking this point, they're actually going to take first
yes,
point.
They are. As even with everything you saw on Poker Face's side, maybe a little too much before this team fight, JNGK actually grabbing the first point, promising signs on Surabasa.
And also the next point is Gardens, it looks like. And JNGK is already in a defensive position, so it's a good thing for them. Proud, the only one approaching the ultimate is going to be Proud, so Proud has to use his ultimate to zone out the members of JNGK, but once again, Spit falls by the turret of Valentine.
Oh, early on Poker Face. Oh, Valentine does go down. Okay, 1-1 traded. So, up to the remaining members. Can they actually deliver? Pressure gets one. Lego down.
Trade kills here and there, but it looks like Poker Face will be able to flush out the members of JNGK and claim the second point.
I thought even Simple was going to be using that Matrix if the fight was dragged on a little later, but should be feeling pretty good about still holding that. Plus, the barrier is coming soon. The Flux available.
Once again, we're seeing Valentine's turrets built different. Because this is the second time we've been seeing a symmetric turret taking down Spit's Genji. Wow, and I mean, that really matters because this means that Spit's Dragon Blade is going to be delayed that much more. And pressure with the good Flux, but there is that Lego sound barrier to counter. No casualties on either side yet. Proud taking down Tamper. Spit really wanted that Dragon Blade he would have had if he didn't fall to that turret. This is snowballing a lot. Remember, pressure using that Flux, meaning that Lego has to use the sound barrier. And if Spit did not fall to that Valentine turret, he would have had that Dragon Blade to use with a sound barrier-less Poker Face. So this is a really big snowball, and that actually cost JNGK the second point.
Yeah, that's right. Temper at least got the Matrix up, so I thought JNGK was going to commit a lot more, even with a member down. But they just couldn't. At that moment, it was early. It was already too late with sound barrier up. It was not the right timing. You can't just have the blade going up against the barrier. You can't go for the kill. So Poker Face, they gave no other choice to fall other than to fall back for JNGK and his hold.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. And an extra kill.
Valentine just wanted to just give his life, but no. Spit. Okay, so that was a pretty good fight for the side of JNGK because looking at their history right now, this fight looked like it might have even costed Off's rally, but just managed to win with only Dragon Blade here, which means that they can use the rally here to make it a more even fight.
Spin off to the side, Poker Face. A lot of them just dropping ults. But would that be enough? Okay, got a lot more resources used, and in terms of power, Poker Face had a lot more ready because they just lost the previous fight without doing anything.
Yeah, so that was a good photon barrier on the side of Valentine and also a good window on Simple. But I think for Poker Face, I think they would be very happy with this fight because either way, they just won with 2 ultimates and they also baited out Off's rally, so it was 2 ultimate wins for 1. Yes, they did use one more, but like they got control back from the point, so I think it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, going back on Echo now, trying to target on those turrets, which made that Genji play much harder, to be honest. So
it's going to be a race for the Gravitic Flux here. Both Sigmas are almost there.
And the Flux to keep them outside.
Oh, good.
To pair it up.
Yeah, good relay. Good ult relay from Pressure and RK. So they are taking the point back. Yes, I think PokerFace should have enough time to have one more last fight. But the question is, will PokerFace... Are PokerFace willing to commit in a fight that may be an overtime fight on this third point here?
JNGK looking for the second point. Okay, holding teleports inside.
Okay, good flux!
How many?
Multiple members! And that is going to be...
Did Peppy just get from that flux? That was insane.
That was a high value flux if I saw it.
Oh my.
They just literally won with just one ultimate, which means that they have all the tools in the world.
That's right.
To win the next fight, and that's going to be one win here means that it's going to be 2 points on the side of PokerFace.
Oh man, worrisome moment for JNGK. No ults available. Had to.
The touch was there, so it's going to be overtime.
Had to get Tracer. Oh, before Temper falls
Temper
early.
Falls,
Proud.
Spin very low without the recall, and Pressure falls first as well. So this is going to be over. This is going to be a fight over, and this is going to be a second point for PokerFace. Only one ultimate used for that fight, G-Clef, and this is kind of tragic for JNGK right now because PokerFace has all the ultimates that they want. They have both DPS ultimates and with only their rally to keep them alive. And even if Pressure manages to get that Gravitic Flux early on, Lego Sound Barrier is there to counter because there's no other ultimates on the side of JNGK that can pop out Lego's Sound Barrier.
So JNGK, I think they were trying to catch a lot more members into the rotation, but that could not happen. So here's PokerFace with the barrier. Proud gone early. So this could be the chance for JNGK.
This is their window of opportunity.
Valentine.
Pressure very, very low. Spin low as well. Valentine falls, so there's no DPS on the side of PokerFace for this fight. Lego uses the sound barrier, but it's not going to be enough to save PokerFace from certain death here. And that is JNGK taking control of what may be potentially the last point of this map and the match, but JNGK definitely have some other thoughts, and now it's going to be really interesting because Pressure has the Flux, but there will be no sound barrier to counter that.
But there's Peppy's Flux on the other side, so we'll see. Here's the first teleport. Pressure, early Flux. It doesn't seem like it was actually grabbing anyone. Just to counter.
So now it's Peppy's turn. The Immortality Field is there,
the
but
value
will
is
it be enough?
And Proud taking one after another. And JNGK, even though they did get 62%, all the ults used.
Yeah, so PokerFace fumbled the last fight, but they managed to make amends by winning this one. So it's going to be a very neutral fight for this one because nobody has ults. Maybe Spit is going to be having that pulse bomb
yeah,
soon.
Has to be making the gameplay. If it misses, okay,
and
there it is.
Makes it happen. So it is going to be JNGK on the front foot.
Yeah, and RK just doing cleanup duty. PokerFace backs off. Still onto a target.
Peppy needs to survive if they want another chance, but it's not going to happen. And that stagger means that JNGK might actually just complete this point.
Yeah, it will be 2-2. As PokerFace, no other ultimates or other heroes to actually contest in time. So JNGK matching up the numbers now 2-2.
So we're going on map point on Servasa here. PokerFace not approaching any key ultimates, and JNGK has maybe that window online. A lot of credit for Spin for making that pulse bomb happen because that was the difference maker.
The JNGK Spin going up front, making sure that rotation is, that information is available. So JNGK, they're going to take a wide turn. Not going to, going for the risk and lose anyone. Teleport gone in the middle.
It looks like PokerFace will be able to take real estate first on that point. But with Tamper's window, that's going to be a little bit difficult to hold.
It does get the teleport up and gone early.
Okay, no casualties so far on the side of PokerFace, so this is a good thing for them. Lego wants to keep hold of his sound barrier because he knows that Pressure's Flux is coming up soon. Tamper down is good news for PokerFace, but not for JNGK. Pressure is down as well, so this is going to be first control on the final point on Suravasa for this in favor of PokerFace.
Yeah, on top of that, PokerFace will be having +1 compared to JNGK by the next fight in terms of ultimate ready to go. But here's the thing, PokerFace, when they have the point set up already, there's so much hold for them. Especially the turret, which is always being harassment. Low. That's exactly what you're seeing on the screen.
So JNGK needs to rely on the Gravitic Flux and the Mortar combination.
Okay.
So Proud is
pressure
down. Lego uses his sound barrier, but was not able to save Proud. So if JNGK is able to win this fight, they are actually in a pretty good position here because PokerFace used 3 ultimates and still lost. And JNGK taking control of the point means that they will be in a good position as long as they keep their ult economy very healthy because they have 2 ultimates. And if they don't, like, I guess the worst scenario for JNGK is that they use both ultimates, all 3 ultimates, and still fail to win the fight.
Yeah, again, up to Spin to come up with a clutch kill. Early barrier up from Valentine. And as you look for a Spin, I think that was...
Oh, that kill on Lego
Lucio?
was... It didn't stick, but I think the damage was there to take out Lego, but off and Tamper down. So no form of sustain whatsoever for the side of JNGK.
Oh, JNGK losing this fight would mean almost a game.
Remember, G-Clef, I said the worst case scenario is that JNGK loses with using all their ultimates. Off needs to change to Lucio just to get that extra speed because, like you said, this is final fight territory for the side of JNGK. They need to touch.
Pressure with maximum pressure, 5%, and Spit does come in blink to contest just in time. But
triggers
the recall.
If JNGK loses this is their end of the road.
Early Matrix, making sure no one else can come. And Tracer down. Big problem, no one else can contest! And that is it, PokerFace is going to be moving up to the next round of the playoff.
Wow, JNGK looked a lot more competitive on Suravasa, but was not enough to take down PokerFace and their playoff runs. Yes, it's meaningful in that sense that it's the first step that they ever made to Overwatch Contenders Korea playoffs, but that is going to be the end of the road for JNGK, and PokerFace moves on to the semifinals.
Oh man, PokerFace. First 2 maps, I have to say, they were dominating pure fashion against JNGK. It almost felt like it was going to be very likely a 3-0 series, but still, coming into Flashpoint Suravasa, JNGK did come up with a very good contest. And I have to be amazing. I almost thought that JNGK was able to grab that Suravasa with their ult charges and the ultimates, but at the end, some better moments coming in from PokerFace, and we do have Peppy, the tank from the team, being the POTM.
Well deserved by Peppy, to be honest. His Sigma play was phenomenal here. Yes, Pressure also shined at some certain moments of the game, but like his fluxes, the way he also kept his team alive from the Bastion turns like this was one of the key reasons that PokerFace made this look very easy.
Yeah, Sigma, not just protecting your team.
Oh, this flux was so tasty.
A beauty. 5 men. Everyone in the air.
And at that point, it's just easy kills for everyone else on the team. Yes, kill credits were divided throughout the entire team, but like not just a matter of him taking like multiple people on his fluxes. It's just that he also picked out the most important ones. So here's your results. Comparatively short day, considering that it was playoffs and it was against the more competitive teams on this region. Panthera losing out to SPG 1-3. So SPG advancing to the semifinals, going against Zero, and PokerFace taking down JNGK on their first playoff runs in Overwatch Contenders Korea, meaning that PokerFace goes against Dreamers, another tournament favorite.
Another very strong team who did not have a single loss in the groups. Same for Zero. We'll be facing SPG. That'll be happening tomorrow. We have only 2 matches for the playoff and only 1 for the grand finals, but of course a longer one for the grand finals. But will be exciting because SPG, they look strong, but against Zero, that's questionable. PokerFace, they look to be the dominant team today against JNGK, but it's always Overwatch, and when you go up against a very strong opponent, it might not look the same.
Yeah, but PokerFace, I think, would be very happy today because they have that confidence boost coming in. And Dreamers, I think, yes, usually when you're having a bye and going on to semifinals, one of the advantages that you have is that you see the other team play. You see who your potential opponents is going to be, and you kind of analyze how they're going to play. But to be honest, I don't think Dreamers got anything meaningful from today's match because PokerFace just steamrolled. They only used 1 composition, and JNGK failed to answer that single composition. So maybe, yes, they do have a hold on what composition they will probably use as their first option, but yeah, apart from the fact that they're pretty good at this comp, I don't think Dreamers will be having any meaningful analysis from that. Maybe they do because they have a talented staff, but I think PokerFace has got a lot from today and will be looking very competitive against Dreamers. Yeah, that morale boost, the confidence level should be really high. Going against Dreamers, of course, a very strong opponent, but Contenders, playoff time, it is certainly the best time for... I just have to say I love it so much. Of course, might be the last one for me for Fall Series Korea. So I had to say I enjoyed fully APAC and also Korea. And I mean, these amazing talents just continues to strive, and there are roster changes, and it's very interesting to see this player working in a very different fashion, but still working with the teamwork with a different roster. But it always happens in Contenders. That's exactly why you love and you continue to follow these teams, or sometimes specific players, and they just continue to deliver all the time. Yeah, exactly. So, like you said, G-Clef, some of these teams go major roster overhauls every season, sometimes because Overwatch League teams pluck out the best players from your team, and also since this is the tier 2 scene, you just see a lot of roster shuffles, even within Contenders. Sometimes you want to go to a stronger team to showcase your abilities to maybe get picked for the league next season, or sometimes you just want a bit of fresh air because their current team didn't work out so well. But the stories that these teams make is something really phenomenal, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we do. Of course, it's not over yet.
It's not over. It's only day 1 out of the 3.
Yeah, we have still 2 more days of playoffs. Of course, Opara Papadaka and LaFlan and Possible will be there to bring you the action.
Exactly.
But hey, it's been so much fun.
It's been so much fun throughout this year, and it's going to be even better because playoff just gets better until the last moment.
You have tomorrow's matches, and then you have the grand finals on LAN with... I'm looking at the tickets here, and you're going to see a lot of people coming in. And also, a lot of Overwatch League players who have already returned to Korea are going to be on LAN. Of course, not on the stage.
Extra pressure.
But they're going to be in the audience seat, cheering for their friends, cheering for their ex-teammates, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a big festival and also a big moment to find out who wins this entire Contenders Korea. But thank you everyone for watching Contenders Korea. Continue to love Contenders and support all the players as we continue to have the playoff. This was only day 1, day 2, and the grand finals will continue in the following days. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.